You guys know that on this channel we talk a lot about the cost of living crisis, the energy security, and Joe Biden's blame game. He blames everything on everybody else. But when it comes to the fuel price increases and everything else going on around the world, including places like Germany and their dependency on Russian gas, the White House's desperation and Joe Biden's desperation have reached a new high. This is peak White House. For example, let's have a look at Nancy Pelosi, who is trying her best to create this new PR narrative that this is a Putin fuel crisis.
We have to address the Putin price hike, gas hike. It has, since he started amassing troops earlier this year, the price at the pump has gone up 75 cents. We're doing everything we can to minimize the Putin price hike at home.
I'm glad you mentioned that again at the end, just in case we didn't know. Mention it again at the end. No, because if you didn't know, this crisis only started 2-3 weeks ago. Definitely not when Joe Biden became president. Definitely not because of all the graphs that we've shown you every single week on this channel about the money printing and the green subsidies and everything else is done and shutting down actual production, gas production and oil production in America. No, nothing to do with that, because there's absolutely no evidence, right? When it comes to Joe Biden during the election making promises like this one.
But kiddo, I want you to just take a look, okay? You don't have to agree, but I want you to look in my eyes. I guarantee you, we're going to end fossil fuel, and I am not going to cooperate.
Oh yeah, not that those promises went extra and you went ultra Greta Thunberg style green crap, and now you wonder why the whole economy is going down and the cost of living in America. And it's not just you, it's also all the other places that did the same thing. In this country, we're going through a similar crisis, but at least it's not as bad in terms of the instant hit, because Boris Johnson is now being pushed into a corner to now promising to have a look at nuclear and fracking and everything else. We are going to talk about that problem as well later in the day today. I'm going to upload another video about Boris Johnson and the energy crisis in the UK. But when you look at AOC, everyone's debating this issue. Everyone's talking about whether we should focus more on the net zero, or whether we should focus on fracking or nuclear or subsidies, or what should we do? Should we get it from Saudi? Should we get it from Russia? In the middle of all this, AOC is coming out to say, oh, in case you don't know, let's talk about the fact that what's happening now is also related to what the early days Americans did, the white Europeans, when they went to America and dealt with the Native Americans.
Meaningful connection here. The correlation between fossil fuel extraction sites and abductions and murders of indigenous women across the United States.
Whoa. So, I'm guessing if you frack and if you extract shale gas, it's basically the same as abducting. I can't take this seriously. How is this a real country right now under the Democrats and all these people? How is America still running? Well, we know why, because obviously it's got a very, very specific system, and thank God for the federal government not getting, for now, too big. It's still big enough, but the states still have some power. That's why Florida currently is the best state in America. Don't care what you say. And I know that we have a lot of American viewers as well from various states, but Florida looks pretty cool right now. Anyway, we're going to talk about a lot about a number of issues, including the people who've lost their lives since 2020 and the truth behind the lockdown days, and also talk about the row between Rishi Sunak and Boris Johnson, especially over nuclear energy strategy, and generally speaking, what's going on in Ukraine that the mainstream media are not telling you. So subscribe to the channel. I'm TC, and we are the media.